Hi teachers, this screencast is about setting up NoRedInk to use in your classroom, both your account and your student accounts, getting your classes going, and so on. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go to NoRedInk.com and then you'll click on Sign Up for Free Teacher. Now if you already have a NoRedInk account from last year, you'll of course go instead to this login button in the top right corner. You will probably want to link your account with Google. You'll see how I'm doing that with the accounts that are being made right now. That will just streamline it for you. It might be a useful tool for the future. So once I get here, I'm going to click this red button, Sign Up with Google. Then I'm going to choose the account that I am going to sign up with. Maybe you're only signed into one. And click Accept. And create a NoRedInk account. So I just need to give them a little bit of information. Moving on. Bam, I'm ready. So now whenever I log in, I just click on that red sign in with Google account. My username and password is already in there. That makes it pretty easy. I'm going to be immediately prompted to set up a class. So I'm going to pretend that I have a class named for my alma mater, Wellesley College. And that will automatically appear here with a class code, really important to be used later. Let's say that I am a 7th or 8th grade teacher and I actually have two classes that we're going to use NoRedInk in. So I can just click this blue Add Class button, and apparently I need to put in the class name first. And I'm going to name this class after the school that I dreamt of going to but got waitlisted and then rejected to. Alright, so now I have my two classes all set to go. I'm going to now explain how to get your account updated to premium, which is something that we have upgraded on this year on NoRedInk. So you just click on your name up here and click on settings. The next thing that you need to do is enter a premium code, and our premium code at Alpha is blue-2345. Very important. Everybody needs to put this in, or else you will not be able to take advantage of the updated features of NoRedInk. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted by that ding. Alright, so all I need to do is put in that premium code and then click Update Account. My account has been updated successfully. I'm going to go home. I'll see my classes. I also need to click this Activate Premium on each of my classes to have them updated to all the new features as well. I'm going to type understood into this box just to accept the terms and conditions for both of my classes, and I'm set to go. Now I'm going to show you how a student will set up their account and get into your class. So when it comes time for you to have your students sign up, you're going to direct them to NoRedInk.com as well. I will put this on your class pages. They're going to click Sign Up for Free Student. They can also click Sign Up with Google right here, and that way it can just be streamlined right through their Google account. So they're going to click on this red button, and that will take them to sign up through Google. So they're going to choose their account. I have a lot lined up right now. They're going to accept NoRedInk, and then they're going to do the exact same thing that you did. Create a NoRedInk account. They're going to choose their gender and their grade. So let's pretend this student is in 6th grade. And there they are in NoRedInk. So again, just like with, what other program did we do this with? Newsella. I would have this time be extremely structured. Those steps that I just went through really quickly might take 10 minutes in your classroom, just to make sure the students are clicking on the right things and it doesn't turn into chaos. The very first thing that students are going to be prompted to do is to select their interests. The way that NoRedInk works is that students will get grammar practice that is linked to their interests. So the sentences that they're working with will come from different television shows or different books or different movies or sports teams or things that they're really interested in, just to keep them engaged. So the first thing they're going to do is choose some of their interests. I suggest that you place a time limit on this activity. Students could spend a long time in here, and if they know from the beginning they have 5 minutes to explore and have fun and choose the things that they're interested in, help them to understand that that's going to be integrated into their grammar practice, that should be plenty of time. So let's say that I really think The Lion King is awesome and The Hunger Games, and I'm also really into Beyonce. Okay, it's going to ask me to add more interest until this green bar is totally full. That way, NoRedInk has enough material to work with. So let's see, what else do I like? I think Frank Sinatra is cool, and I am a fan of Hillary Clinton. She went to Wellesley, so that's good. I'm gonna say that George Washington is interesting to me, and Barack Obama, and maybe I'm really into tennis. There's a lot of things here, which is pretty cool, that students can choose. So I'm actually just going to choose a lot of tennis players to fill up my green bar. Then they're going to click continue. Right after that, students are going to be prompted to put in a class code. I have copied that from my teacher account. So they're just going to put that in. I suggest you put it on the board somewhere clear where students know what it is. Again, very structured, very slow. Carefully put in this class code. If you miss even one letter or number, you're not going to be able to join our class, right? So students click join class, and they are taken to their sort of home page. So I will explain a lot more about how this home page works, how it correlates with your home page, but that is how students sign up and get in the program. Teachers, I forgot to mention that if students are not already signed into their Google account when they go to NoRedInk, then they will be prompted to obviously put in their email address and their password. You didn't see that on this screencast because I was already signed into that test student account. So I was able to just click on that email address and go straight from there. But there will be a time where students are prompted to put in their username and password unless they're already logged into Google. Maybe you've been doing something else, or maybe you're on a Chromebook and that's already linked up. But just wanted to mention that you may need to set aside some time for students to type in their email address and their password and get that right, so that it's all synced up. All right, now I'm going to show you how to assign work to your students in your classes. So there are 3 types of work that you can assign in NoRedInk. Last year there were just 2, assignments and quizzes. This year they've also added pre-tests. I'm going to quickly tell you the difference and show you a resource to learn more about the difference. A pre-test is basically a diagnostic with multiple categories. You probably want to use this at the very beginning of a unit. So you can just have students take the pre-test, see where they're at. You can plan from that diagnostic, and you can reflect back on that diagnostic with your students after the unit is over to see their progress. Pretest is a new thing for NoRedInk, so I would just keep that in mind, that it's still being built out and it's just something for us to experiment with. A quiz is like a summative assessment. The grade that a student gets on it, the score that they get on it within NoRedInk, is based on their first response. And students do not get feedback until the end. So it is actually a quiz. Whereas an assignment is more for practice. Students get feedback along the way, and they can try again until they get the question right. Their final score is the number of questions that they ultimately got correct, not their first attempt. So assignments, you'll see a lot of 100% on. That's the goal, is that you want students to keep trying until they get the question correct. Whereas a quiz is more for at the end, or to use as a summative assessment to see if students are understanding. So assignments more for practice, quizzes more for assessment. And a pretest as a diagnostic, something to experiment with. So if you want to learn more about the difference between these, you can go here to assigned work, and there's a link here called What's the Difference, and it sort of lays out how they differ and how you can use them. So I'm going to go back home, and I'm going to show you that there's two ways to assign things to your classes. Either from this home page by clicking on these plus signs, or if you're in the assigned work section, you can create with this green button. I'm in the assignments tab. If I were to go to quizzes, I could create a quiz there. So I'm going to do it from home this time. I'm going to send out a assignment to students in my Wellesley class. So just click this plus sign. And this is where I really encourage you to explore NoRedInk. See all of the different categories and options that are available. Just try this out with your students day by day. There's a lot of new topics, as returning teachers will notice, and a lot that are updated, which is great. So let's say that I am really working with my students on capitalization. So these are all the big categories that you choose from this drop-down menu. It looks like more are coming, which is great. And I already assigned them a assignment on beginning sentences, so I think that I would like to help them to work on capitalization in quotes that are within sentences. So I choose that on the side, and then you note that you can choose multiple. So maybe I want them to work on quotes within sentences and capitalizing days and months. And I'm going to assign, or to name the assignment whatever I'd like. So capitalize your sentences is the last one I did. I'm going to put in capitalize practice, whatever you want to name it. You can choose how many questions you want in your assignment. How long do you want them to work on this? You can choose if you want the question scrambled. You can also choose how many points the assignment is worth. This will auto-populate. I believe that in quizzes these can be different. Then you can choose who you're assigning this to. So I want to assign it to all of my Wellesley class. But maybe I want to assign it only to my struggling students, or maybe I've created an enrichment activity for my high flyers, or whatever it might be. I can select specific students. Right now, I don't have many students in my class, obviously, just the one, but this will populate with your whole roster, everybody who's put in that class code, and you can select them and just push it out to certain students. You can put a due date on this if you'd like. I didn't use due dates at all last year. I don't know if other teachers did, but that's there just so you are aware, and you can also schedule a start time if you'd like. So I'm going to click Create Assignment. That's going to take me to this page where I can see all of the assignments that I have created. I've only created 2, so this will get a lot bigger as time goes on. And in my next screencast, I'll show you how to use these different buttons. But you'll notice that if I was logged in as the student in that Wellesley class, immediately when I sign in, I will have these assignments waiting for me. And I just have to click the blue button to start my assignment. There's going to be a little bit of instruction or tutorial at the beginning just so the students know how to answer the questions, and then they can go ahead and get started. So students will go through the directions, make sure that they understand how to submit their answer, and they can also always click on this to get the tutorial again if they're confused. Shows them how their results are going to be shown. So here I am as a student. I'm asked to click to fix any capitalization errors below. I see that these names are both capitalized. You'll see that some of my interests are coming in here. and I'm realizing this new sentence needs to be capitalized, submit my answer, I get my check mark. So that's how students interact with NoRedInk.